Hi, my name is Patricia Bordonaro. Most students call me Miss Bordo, which is totally fine. That's what my whole family says because we're lazy. I'm not sure. I'll share with you a presentation here so you can get to know me a little bit better and have some information. So like I said, they can call me Miss Bordo. You can call me Miss Bordo. You can call me Bordo in general. And I also coach volleyball and softball. So sometimes Coach Bordo gets dropped in there, and that's fine. Uh, you can get a hold of me in two different ways, really three, but these are going to be the most reliable. Email is always the best. It's the most secure way to get a hold of me, and as well as making sure there's enough space to explain yourself and I have enough area to tell you exactly what you need without having to shorten it to fit into basically a text message, because that's what Remind is. If you are a fan of Remind, there is a Remind code to get into my Earth and Space class. That isn't going to be a platform that I am requiring anyone to have, but it is just another tool to contact me. I won't push information out on it very often at all, because like I said, I'm not requiring everyone to have it, but if that's your jam, you can go ahead and use it and I will respond, because it's mostly like a text message. It shows up on my phone and I can respond quickly. My undergrad is from Minnesota State University in Mankato, Minnesota. If you know anything about South Central Minnesota, it's among all the corn. There's a town called Mankato, and it's a lot of fun, but that's where I got my degree in geology. And then my master's degree is from the University of Iowa, and there's a big gap between there, and how I ended up there is on the next slide, I guess. So with my geology degree, I became a geologist, and I worked on oil rigs in southeastern Ohio. Yes, there are oil rigs in southeastern Ohio, and it is just as boring as it sounds. It's just corn. A lot of my life has just been corn, which is why I came out here, because I was sick of corn, except for eating it because it's delicious. The oil field kind of bottomed out in 2013-ish, mid 2013, I don't even remember. So I found my way up to Cleveland, Ohio, where the world headquarters is for Lincoln Electric, the welding experts, and I became a technical sales representative for the welding industry. So basically what that means is I drove around for hours a day, going to my customers who were in Northwestern Illinois, where my sales territory was. I got to sometimes sell something, but mostly I did a lot of machine repair, robot programming, process design, and my favorite thing was always teaching and training. So I did a lot of training on how to weld different kinds of materials with different kinds of methods to minimize distortion and maximize production. And during that time, I realized how much I loved teaching. So I made a phone call to the University of Iowa that was an hour away from where I lived, and they said, yeah, come on over, we'll get you your degree. You already have a science degree, so let's get you teaching. So that's how I ended up in teaching. And I actually did my student teaching in New Zealand, and then I ended up in Arizona because when I was back in Iowa after student teaching, I was driving for Uber, and one of my customers lived out here and said, we need science teachers in Arizona. Would you move to Phoenix? And I said, yep. So that's why I'm here, and I love it. I've never planned to stay anywhere before, but I just bought a condo, so apparently I'm here for a while. So hopefully I can get not only your student, but maybe siblings too. My first teaching experience was in the Kyrene district down in Chandler, and I taught at the Pueblo Middle School there, where we were the Bulldogs. So that's the little bulldog you see. This year in Earth and Space, we're going to be learning basically anything from the core of the Earth to very far away from the Earth, any of the abiotic features, which are non-living. We focus on lots of different things, lots of processes, and ask a lot of questions about like, what if. We'll do some things with energy, and you'll notice that in each of these categories, I have natural disasters. It's because that's the really exciting parts. Everyone loves volcanoes and, tornadoes and asteroids. I don't know. So we will focus on those a little bit more. And I like to do a lot of projects where they get to dig a little deeper and kind of pose a question and try and solve it with what we've been learning in class. The grading in this class is weighted in 3 categories. The first one is checks for understanding. Those are going to be things that are homework, daily work, exit tickets, anything that's just not a test, basically, and not a project, because tests, quizzes, projects, and lab reports, those are going to fall into the category of assessments, which, as you can see, are by far the most impact on students' grade. There is also a cumulative final at the end of every semester, which is worth 15% of their grade. So I like to go for big ideas, and most of my tests and quizzes are open notes. So it's up to them to take really good notes. And I say, if you have any doubt, write it down because you can use it. That being said, a lot of my tests and quizzes are very application based, where there's not a lot of regurgitation of memorized facts. I'm not a big cheerleader for memorization for the sake of not having to open a book, because in my 2 other careers, if I didn't know something, it was absolutely encouraged that I looked it up. I was not supposed to guess, because especially on the oil rigs, literally I could be putting people in danger if I were to make a guess and was wrong. So I focus on a lot of concepts, not so much memorization. Once again, these are the ways to get a hold of me. You can use Remind or email. Email will always be one of the best ways, and I encourage that one. But like I said, if you have just a short question, you can go ahead and send me a Remind message, and I should be able to answer those pretty quickly. I'm very excited this year to teach all your students, and I look forward to seeing them in person when we're able to go back. Thank you so much. Have a great one.